Hey there! I have a new game that I'd like to introduce to you. Balloons and Raccoons. Let me show you how it works. The game comes with the board, 6 game pieces, and 2 dice, rules booklet, and 50 cards total. You got a raccoon card, the broom, and 8 of each color balloon. To set the game up is pretty easy. You take each of the stack of balloon cards and set them next to the balloon that matches the color. We have red, yellow, blue, and orange, purple, and green. And the raccoon card and the broom go in the middle of the board at the beginning of the game. So let's take a little walk through around the board to show what the spaces are real quick. We got the blue balloon. This is a blank space. We have yellow, red, a raccoon, broom, and a special balloon space. We have the boom space, and let's turn this around. We got green, purple, orange, another raccoon, another broom, and another special balloon space, and the dice space. So after each player placed their pawn on the correct home space, they would each take only one card that matches their color. So if I'm playing as yellow, I'm only allowed to start with one yellow balloon card, and that's it. And for the red player, they would start with one red card, and they just put it in front of them and keep it there face up. So the game comes with 2 dice, but however, everybody starts with only one. So first player would roll and move 1 space. So I'm going to start the game. Blank space, nothing happens. So now it's player 2's turn. So they would roll. They got a 6, so they would move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get green, so now they would take a green card and add it to their pile, like so. The objective of the game is you must land on each balloon space and get the card and have each 6 colors in your hand at the end of the game. So if you pass by the balloon and you don't land on it, but you just simply pass by, you don't get to collect that balloon. You have to land on the space on your turn. So that's how that works. And if you land on the boom space, one of your balloons gets popped. So if red landed on the boom space, then they'd have to choose which one they're going to get rid of. So they have to take that card and turn it face down, and it's out of the game. If you lose all your balloons, you're not out of the game. You just got to keep playing until you try to get them all. If you land on the special balloon space, you get to choose one of any color balloon that you want. So pick one that you need. Makes sense. If you land on the raccoon space, that means you become the raccoon player. You now get to roll with both dice, but you need the balloon card you need the raccoon card in your pile. So let's say I landed on the raccoon space. That means I would get the raccoon card. Therefore, I become the raccoon. And now on my next turn, I get to roll both dice, and I add them together. That'd be 5 plus 4, that's 9, so I would move 9 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I get the orange balloon in my hand. if you land on the dice space, you get to take another turn. So if you're just a regular player, you only get to roll with 1. If you are the raccoon player, you get to roll with 2 dice. If you are the broom player, if you have the broom card, because if you land on the broom space, you get the broom card in your hand. And you can't be both raccoon and the broom player, so you have to swap out the raccoon for the broom. So if you're the broom player, you get to either choose to roll with 1 or 2 dice. You decide. But you can't change your mind after you rolled. If you have yellow and you already landed on yellow, nothing happens. However, if you are the raccoon player and you have the color yellow and you land on yellow, that means you have to take one of the yellow balloon cards of the pile and it gets popped and discarded from the game. Once you have all 6 colors in your hand, you have to keep playing the game until you either land on your home space or roll enough to go past it. That counts. So once you reach your home space or you move past it and you have all 6 balloons, you win. You can either have the raccoon card in your hand or the broom. Either way, you win. Now let's say as the yellow player, I have the raccoon card, so I just rolled the dice and I have a 3. So here we go. I would move 1, 2, 3. Now I'm on a space with another player. I would look at their cards and I would choose which one I want. So since I have yellow and I have red, they have red. I don't need that one. I can either choose blue or green, so I'm going to go with the green one, and that goes in my hand. Like so. If you're the raccoon player and you land on a space with another player, then you only get to take one action. So you either take a balloon that you need from them or discard one balloon from them, or if they don't have any balloons, then nothing happens. And you just keep playing the game. It's the next person's turn. Now let's say that you're the raccoon player and there's 2 or more people playing the game. You land on their space. If you land on a space with multiple players, now you get to choose to take one card from either of those players. So you can't take a card from both. You have to choose one. So take a good look at their cards. Now, if another player lands on your space with you, and you're the raccoon player, you get to choose one random card from them. You can't see what it is. So they hold up their cards and you can't see what it is. You have to randomly pick one. So if you pick a balloon that you need, you get to keep it. If it's a balloon that you already have, then you have to discard it. And if they have no balloons, then nothing happens with that. Now, if you're the raccoon player and you land on the raccoon space again, you must turn in your raccoon card back into the middle of the board. If you're somewhere on the board and you have the raccoon card and someone else lands on the raccoon space, they take the raccoon card from you and they become the raccoon player. Now let's say the player who's playing as green is the raccoon player and they land on a space with another player and there's also something going on that space. You have to take action against the player first and then you take that balloon card or do what the action says on the space. But you take the action against the player first and then the space. Now if you land on the broom space, you become the broom player. And this is exciting because you get to use either 1 or 2 dice to roll with your turn. So on your next turn, there would be 6 plus 5 is 11, so I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nothing happens on there, so that is nothing. Now, if you're the broom player and you land on the boom space, nothing happens. You are safe. If you land on balloon space regularly, you get that balloon as usual. But if you land on a space with another player and they don't have the raccoon, nothing happens. But if they do have the raccoon, that means you get to take a balloon from the raccoon player. Now, if they don't have anything that you need, if you have red and blue in your hand, then you get to either do one of two things. You get to either discard their raccoon, you broom the raccoon, and he goes back into the middle of the board, or you can leave him and you would save one of these balloons. So you would take one balloon and place it back on the correct pile and save that balloon for later. Now, if during the game, if a pile of balloons is popped out and there are no more of one color, let's say for this case it's green, then if you don't have green, it's impossible for you to win. So you gotta make sure you get all the balloons. The only way to lose the broom card, if you have it, is if you land on the broom space again. You gotta turn the broom card in. Or if you're somewhere on the board and another player comes by and lands on a broom space, then if you have the broom, or if it's in the middle of the board, that player who just landed on broom space, they get that broom card. So that's the game, Balloons and Raccoons. It is from ages 5 and up and 2 to 6 players, and it is only available on my website, balloondudetravis.com and thegamecrafter.com.